Hey, what's up, guys? Uh, this is a race I had the other day. Thought I'd re-record it and just talk over it. Pretty fun race. Um, didn't have the best of starts, in terms of what's it called? My quali. Quali put me back about 9th or 10th, something like that. So, but yeah, anyway, ready now for a reasonably clean race. But the start wasn't the best. A little bit of a everybody backed up there, but no damage caused to the car, so no harm, no foul. These first 2 laps with these cars, it's like always so frantic. Everybody's so like eager to try and make a position, so you've kind of got to be ready to attack and also defend at the same time. Everybody being so tight together. This guy ahead of me, Julian, step out there just to see what he does, basically. Not really looking to make a move yet, but he doesn't seem too phased by my little moves to the right there, so alright then. Looks like he may battle me, fight me for this position. You never know, some people tend to fight, others tend to be like, nah, you can take the position. So quite early on in the race, we'll see. But yeah, it's a really cool car track combo. Like these cars, like this LMP1 car, just feels amazing on this track. Like, especially being used to the race room spa, I've clearly been spoilt when it comes to track limits. Like on here, the track limits are like they take it very seriously. Like it's so hard to not get an off track on this track. Like, it's so easy to just run a little bit wide. Some of the corners you don't even have to run wide. It's just like maybe more than half of the car is on the other side of the white lines, and it will just give you an off track. I'm just like, wow. So definitely got to be on your guard for that. So survived the first lap, which is amazing, because it doesn't happen too often in the LMP1 class, in the Le Mans class anyway. These races can be so frantic, like so frantic. It's just yeah. But you know, for every couple races that don't really end that great, you know, you do get races like this where you actually do have like really cool races, good battles, and relatively clean racing. So as annoying as it is, you know, it is highly addictive. So as you can see here now, we've got a little bit of a four-way train going on. The front 5 of starting to pull away a little bit. Looks like Yannick is holding the guys up a little bit here. Usually, like I said, I had a bad quali, so my pace is roughly around about Sylvain. Like you can see there in 4th or 3rd position, yeah. So ideally, I'd be around about where he is now, but obviously, with my position now, I've got to yeah. So I've got. Yeah, Jesus, absolute luck up there. I wasn't expecting him to brake so hard there, because he didn't really have anybody in front of him, so I thought he was going to take the corner quite normal, but yeah, that set me back a little bit. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm usually around about Sylvain's pace. I've never raced with anybody else below him, between him and me, but judging on the quali times, I'm hoping that my pace is better than most of theirs. I won't catch up to Sylvain, definitely not, but maybe top 5 is what I was thinking at this moment. Top 5 would be cool. So yeah, that lock-up set me back quite a bit, but I'm guessing at this point that I've got the pace to catch up to these guys. Fortunately, I didn't lose a position as well when coming back on track, so that was quite fortunate. Eau Rouge is just like piss easy in this car. It's literally full throttle. Just got to make sure you time it right. Your right, the left, right, left. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You can fall victim to the trap of going too fast in. You could use a bit too much boost going up through there, and then you find that there's just way too much understeer where you have to lift off. But generally, boost up to about 25% deployment is fine, leading up to Eau Rouge. So yeah, these guys aren't really running away from me, as you may think after my lockup. So yeah, looking to catch these guys up. Relatively quickly. Yeah, I can see he's slowing down. Yannick's pulling away though. Bloody bastard. Northern bastard. So yeah, for this next lap I'll talk you through my hybrid deployment. So it's pretty simple, to be honest. I'll leave it on. You won't be able to see on here with the JRT because obviously it's been recorded. It's not a live race, but basically I'll leave it on manual 6, trim 6 or whatever it's called. Yeah, these guys are backed up quite nicely here. So yeah, starting this lap off, I don't use any hybrid as of yet. From here, the manual boost basically uses up to 25%. It just goes all the way up to roughly 25%, 23 to 25. So up to here it'll be 25%, and I'll let that play out. I won't use any extra boost normally, and then from about try and make these guys panic a little bit. It won't use any. It will use a little bit of boost here. I'm not too sure exactly how much boost. Yeah, this guy doesn't really put up too much of a fight, to be fair, which is good. So I get by him quite easily. But yeah, all I know is after this next left-hander downhill, the manual will use the boost again, and I should be at about 50% boost from this point here. So I know everything's going according to plan there. He uses a little boost here. I basically just leave it. I don't actually press any. I'm not pressing like the hybrid deployment myself. I'm just leaving it all up to the boost. I just recognize where I am and how much boost it should be, or how much boost I should have left, basically. So coming up after this fast right-hander, sorry, the manual deployment would have used up to 70%. So then I know I've got an extra, maybe 10% that I could probably use, up to 80, maybe 85, and then I use the remaining boost for the start-finish straight coming up here. So yeah, I'll just use up whatever's remaining, whether it be 20 or 15% left on this straight here. So pretty simple. It kind of takes care of itself, to be honest. It's not overly complicated. It just starts to get a little bit more complicated when I wanna, when I'm trying to get by somebody, get past them. Like for instance here, I'm using it up to about 25% as per usual. But then here I'm just testing it out. I'm seeing what the guy ahead of me does. Is he going to use the boost to keep me behind him, or no? He basically lets me go by him quite easy as well, not putting up too much of a fight. I think he maybe recognises that I'm faster paced than he is. Yeah. Didn't handle the overtake as cleanly as I would like, but still clean enough. So yeah, next up is Yannick to catch up to. Again, not too sure what his pace is going to be like. Never raced with him before. But yeah, at the moment, 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. And Mateo, I feel like I've seen that name around before. Ahead of him. But yeah, like I said, the hybrid tends to take care of itself. what I tend to had to what I had to make sure that I was aware of is how much charge I'm using, or how much charge, because it is quite easy to only be able to use about it's hard to explain basically, because there's the charge and then there's the deployment. Basically every lap that I'm going through using this same sort of method, if I'm going as fast as I want, I'm noticing that my charge is slowly getting smaller after every lap. So at the end of one lap, say I may have like 20% charge left, the following lap I'll have like 19 or 18, then the next lap 15. So even though I am being able to use 100% deployment, I'm not charging it enough to keep it at a level playing field where like the charge is basically matching the deployment that I'm using. So I'm basically using more deployment than I'm charging. Yeah, that's basically it. Kind of hard to explain, but yeah, so every now and then I tend to sort of like try and brake slightly earlier so I can stretch out the braking zone to charge the car a little bit more, especially because I feel like I've got decent pace on everybody else around me. I can kind of like afford to do that. But yeah, it's cool, man. I do like that aspect of these cars. Like, it's not just about being fast around the track. You've got something to manage. Like into like the you've got like the hybrid system to manage around the track. So you can't just drive around as as fast as you want, late braking, all that sort of stuff. You've got to sort of like be efficient with the braking. You don't want to brake. You want to brake as late as you possibly can to obviously take a corner well. But at the same time, there is a benefit to just slightly braking a little bit earlier and making that braking zone a little bit longer, because you then eke out a little bit more charge for the hybrid system. See, these guys are battling their heads, slowing each other down. It's perfect for me. And then allows you to be faster on the straights. So getting this guy's side mirror, see what he does. Oh, locks up nicely. Take that freebie. Cool. So now we've got Matteo to deal with. So again, just use an extra. So here it would have taken me up to 25. I'll use an extra 5-10%. See what he does. So he's using more boost now to keep me behind him. He's not just allowing me to get by him. So that's cool. Which means I'm gonna have to sing for my supper. No problem with that. Oh, that's enough track there. But now, obviously, now that we've reached traffic, this is the annoying thing about obviously racing in these multi-class races, is that obviously I've just caught him up and I have got decent pace, but traffic can basically cause him to pull away from me, or from his perspective, me to catch up to him. Like it's basically, I'd say it's sort of like the traffic gods, sometimes it runs in your favor, sometimes not. At the moment, you can see I'm trying my best to basically stay as close to him as possible. I don't really want to make a pass on the outside here, but I feel like I've got no choice. What is working in my favor is that he's with every car he's passing, he's catching up to another car that somewhat slows him down, so I'm not losing him too much. So like here, he gets me before here. Now I would lose a little bit of time because I've got a lift here, which is not ideal, but he's basically just running into more traffic there ahead of him, so it will slow him down a little bit and keep it somewhat equal. But eventually you're always fighting a losing battle when you're the car behind. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Like here, I'll try my best to sort of like put my nose in there, but I can't be too aggressive because I don't want to end other people's races. This bit was pretty cool. I can pass these two quite easily. At this point I wasn't too sure, but I said fuck it, let me just go for it. And I just make it just in time, which is pretty cool. That's another aspect of these cars. It's like you've got to make that decision of, okay, then can I pass this car before the next corner? Yes or no? Yes. All right then. Do I use hybrid? Yes or no? Yes. All right then. Cool. Like, it's all these decisions are just going through your head, and you're trying to like make them as quickly as possible while at the same time racing. Because if I didn't make that pass before Eau Rouge, I would have definitely lost, I'd say, at least 1.5 to 2 seconds to Matteo ahead of me. So, you know, there is an element of driving risky. You have to take risks, whereas here I can't be that risky to try and get past this guy. There's no way in hell. I've just got to try my best to get by him as quickly as possible. While obviously at the same time not ruining anybody else's race, and try my best to keep as close to Matteo as I can. But you can tell that I'm so glad that guy stuck to his racing line, stuck to that side, because I hate really passing on the left hand side there. It's just awkward. I rely on the GT car to brake a lot more as well, to allow me to turn in. Okay, so yeah, passed all the GT field, which is cool. So even though, yeah, lost a little bit of time to him, but I'll definitely gain it up. I've definitely got the pace on him. Ooh. But, well, not driving like that, that's for damn sure. But luckily for me, that even though I lost a little bit of time there, like barely lost any actually. That cut track was quite forgiving. In terms of the slowdown ended quite quickly. So yeah, now I can focus on Matteo now, and hopefully make the pass before we catch up to the HPDs. I keep calling them P2s, but it's not, it's HPDs. So you can see here he's looking to somewhat defend. Matteo's not going to make it easy for me. Ooh. Yeah, definitely feels like he turns off his hybrid at certain parts in this middle sector. This Pujon, man. Oh, just turned in a little bit too late there. I've learned now, like, it's so drastically different turning, like when you're following behind somebody and when you're obviously not. Like when you're not, obviously I've got my turning in point and braking point, but I never realised how severe downforce loss it was when you're behind someone. So the braking point and the turning point is a lot earlier. You would think it will be a little bit earlier, but it's actually a lot earlier than that. So, but once you're used to it, it's not too bad. I then try and make a little move here on Matty boy, hold that inside. In the end, I pussied out. I didn't really want to have any contact with him. But yeah, he held the outside line not too bad, even though he had to run off track. But yeah, like I said, he's not going to make it easy for me. But yeah, at this point, now that I'm following behind him, I'm trying to. My plan of action is to. Like I said, here the normal boost is basically up to 25%, but what I should be doing, and what I eventually figure out, is that instead of, because here I let the manual use all the deployment, which is basically up to 25% or whatever it is, whereas really I had to lift there, which is kind of annoying. So I should have just turned off the hybrid slightly, like maybe stopped it at 15% or something like that, because I've still got the draft behind him, and that allows me to save up enough hybrid charge to then use it on the next straight. So yeah, basically using him to help elongate, is that a word? I think that might be the right word. Elongate my braking zones to drag out a little bit more hybrid charge, and hopefully use it on the next straight to get by him, or whichever straight's available. But yeah, I love this aspect of these cars as well. It's just, you got to be quite intelligent in terms of where you choose to use it when you're battling. When you're defending, you're trying to save as much as you can, because you want to on the straights, you want to save up as much hybrid as possible to be fast and keep him off your back. but it also means like through the middle sector, you'd probably like what he's doing. You'd slow down in the parts where I can't overtake anyway. So here you can see I'm using a hybrid now, but he's got enough charge to keep me at bay. Try my best to make him uncomfortable. But yeah, trying my best to hold the inside line here. He does leave me room, but I've also got to leave him room as well. Still able to hold the outside. Gets a little bit physical with me there, which I thought was a little bit cheeky. A little bit of a lock up there, but still in the game. So yeah, he won't. He won't. See, again, I used too much charge. Look at me, like it's almost like I'm gonna make a move. It was so dumb. That's a really dumb move by me. Because now I have Yannick right up my arse, and I'm out of hybrid. I've used way too much there. I should have saved a little bit of it. And but luckily for me, Yannick all three of us basically run out of charge, I think, or don't have enough charge to get by each other. Seems slowing down a lot there. Make a little dart to the right, but he doesn't seem too phased by it at all. Just, you know, sticking to his racing line. He knows it's pretty much that'll be quite a rash move for me to try and make a move there, but it's in my best interest to try and make him panic as much as I can into making a mistake. Ooh. So yeah, not too bad, man. Started in 10th, I think 10th spot, 10th or 11th spot, something like that. Maybe, or maybe it was 9th, I can't remember. Again, go for the move. And finally, this one actually sticks. I think I caught him cold. I don't think, like, that's the other really cool thing about these cars is still got to hold the inside though. Going to first gear, but the pass has been made. Just need to hold it up through La Source. Then I think I know I'm safe there. Yeah. Not the best braking, but good enough. But yeah, the moment, like when a car's behind you, like when you're like, it's so hard to judge when they're going to use it, because the moment someone decides to use the hybrid right behind you, they're literally, it's like boom, they're like right beside you. Like you can really catch people quite cold. So yeah, that was cool. That was a nice little fight there. But yeah, in terms of like catching up to at this moment, I'm like looking at Ricciardo and Sylvain and being like, I'm not going to catch him. I'm definitely not catching the front two, obviously, because they're like alien pace. Even though I've got similar pace to Sylvain and Ricciardo, it's not going to happen unless something. Well, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to happen, because unless something drastic happens. This guy was quite nice of him to move off the racing line. He didn't have to do that though, but you know, much appreciated. Yeah, in terms of catching them, yeah, like I said, there's going to have to be something serious to happen for me to catch up to them. 11 seconds to Ricciardo. You know, it's just, yeah. But yeah, you know, like I said, top 5, got my top 5, and it's not even halfway through the race yet. So, take that. Thank you. Sticks to the outside line, which is perfect. Now, just looking at the map there, you can see Ricciardo and Sylvain ahead of me are having to deal with some back markers like the HPD. So, you know, maybe they might be able to hold them up a little bit, shave off a few seconds here or there. Oh, okay, this guy's been really nice. Didn't hold me up whatsoever. Even gave me a little toe. Because I would have definitely lost time to him catching him through here, through the middle sector. Turned in a little bit too early there. This corner is really hard as well. Like I feel like I've got to lift basically. There's no feel about it. I have to lift. I can't go through there full throttle unless the track temp is low enough. And even then, you have to like time the entry to that corner like really well to be able to do it full throttle. I think the track temp on in this race was 33 degrees. So yeah, not too bad. But yeah, you can see in the time, the delta to the bottom right there on the JRT dash, that I've got time down. It was 12 seconds at one point. It's now down to 9.5. So, you know, in my head I'm thinking, oh, maybe potentially either something's wrong, or maybe it's just a mixture of like back markers and whatnot. But so far it's looking pretty okay, pretty decent in terms of pace wise anyway. You know, pretty close to my best. My last lap was a 57.7 and my best is a 57.6, so my pace is pretty decent at the moment. Yeah, gonna be held up a little bit. Okay, this guy is allowing me to pass him on the outside. Never done that before. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take it, whatever. Hopefully this guy will just stick to his racing line, cut to the left. No? Okay then. To be fair, that's actually the right decision. I didn't realise I was going to catch him up that soon. I thought he'd have been a bit quicker through that corner. But yeah, like there's always that call of like saying like stick to the racing line, which in most instances I'd say yeah, that would definitely help me as the guy behind picking a lane to overtake you. But in that instance there, like catching him just at the exit of Pouhon on the outside, because I've literally caught him as he's going wide, there's no way that he can cut across to stick to his racing line. So sticking to that inside line there was definitely the best decision from his perspective. But so far, I feel like most of the overtakes have been relatively quite clean. Nothing too much to stress about. That guy leaves a little bit of room. Thank you. Pass him very easy. Like I said, you don't want to be caught in a position where you're behind the GT car just before Eau Rouge, because it will cost you so much time, Cutting through here, can I make one more? Just about make one more overtake. Tell you what, it's down to 7 seconds now with Ricardo. Starting to think I can actually get that top 4, maybe top 3, who knows. I'm actually catching up to Sylvain as well. In fact, his lap times are even slower than both mine and Ricardo's, so you never know. Thank you. I got a lot of GT cars to work through, so I decided to just jump into the pits.
Oh, that was scary.
So yeah, sometimes I'm like, do you know what? I'm just gonna have to fight my way through all those people, and they're gonna slow me down, obviously. Especially going up through over roofs. I'm like, you know what? Let me just get back in here, get in there, get in the pits, get it done, and see what happens afterwards once everybody's done their pit. What? Get out of the way. I'm telling you, that boost button is addictive. Just gotta make sure I have a nice clean out lap. These laps are really important, especially because I've got clean air as well. Got to make the most of them. But you can't hide from the GTs forever. But I should have enough boost to get past these guys quite easily. This is what I mean. Those are the points where you want to catch up to the cars. You can just pass them without losing any time. They don't lose any time either. So everyone wins. These cars up ahead though. See, if I'd used, I decided to turn off my my boost there, like to cut it off short, because I knew if I used the full amount, I'd catch him way too soon before a rouge. Whereas there was a good judgment. I just pass him, just passing a rouge, so I don't lose time. He doesn't lose time. This guy ahead, just gonna lose time to this guy. There's nothing I can do. Just gotta be patient. That's the hardest thing in these cars, is to like learn to slow down, because the cars you're going around this track so fast. You're constantly, you know, at 100. You're always at 100% concentration wise, like speed wise, reaction wise. So you're trying to keep that momentum, and then off track there. Thank you. So you're trying to keep that momentum, and when you come up to a car, you're straight away you're thinking, oh, but I don't want to slow down. But you have to like turn that off and be like, no, it's right to slow down, obviously, because you know you want to finish the fucking race. So turning that bit off, that top speed off in your head, is quite difficult. But like I said, you just got to do it, because you just run the risk of ending your race or ending someone else's race. Another off track there. I racked them up on this track. This track is off tracks, man. Damn. They really do make you feel it. okay. Trying to judge where I am now in terms of everybody else. Cool, cool. See, I had to lift there just a little bit. Unfortunately, is what it is. Didn't lose too much time there though. Tell you what though, bloody hell, I'm literally like 3 seconds behind Ricardo now. I caught up loads in the pit. What was it before? It must have been like, what, 9 seconds before, something like that. I can't even remember. It might have been traffic slowing them down, but man, I've definitely benefited from pitting a lap earlier. Oh god, Jesus! At least he committed to one line. I could tell he wanted to move to the left, which I would have been happy for him to move to the left, because I think there would have been enough space for him to do that, and then for me to then just cut underneath him. But he kind of panicked there. That's the thing, when you want to stick to your racing line and there's a little bit of doubt. If there's doubt, just stick to a line. Don't. But if there's no doubt, then by all means, you know, you're going to do whatever you want to do, because you know that you can make that transition without causing an incident. But if you're hesitating, then it means you just need to stick to a line, because it means that judgment, because we're both making judgments. I'm making a judgment on you in terms of the car ahead, like the GT car, and you're making a judgment on me. And usually when both our judgments are the same, you will do what I expect you to do, and then and you know, and more often than not that will happen. But then sometimes there will be overlaps where my judgment is, yeah, you can go into his racing line, but his judgment is, oh, I won't be able to do that. So that's what his one was. So when I went to the undercut, but I still had enough time to react and go to the outside, which is the good thing. So got enough pace to get by this guy. Just sorry, had to be a little bit of a bully there. So yeah, like other people said, there's gonna be some misconceptions, but regardless of like the judgments from both drivers that aren't exactly the same, as long as the car ahead makes his decision as early as possible. It's kind of like when I'm playing football, like they always say, because I'm a defender, and they say when the ball's in the air, you call it early, because when you're younger, I remember, like you know, you don't want to talk and all that sort of stuff, a bit shy, but they're like, nah, the quicker somebody calls to say that I'm going to head the ball, the quicker everybody else can then judge their position based on that person, because they always teach you that if somebody's going to jump for a header, everybody else tucks around and, you know, defends the space behind him, so just in case he loses the ball or he doesn't win his header. So like, you know, if you got two people that don't call it up until the last second, then what usually happens is they both call it and then they both go for the ball, so then nobody's covering each other. So it's like again, just the earlier somebody makes that decision, the better it is, the easier it is for everybody else to deal with. Hell, even when it's the wrong decision, like if somebody else calls it and it's like the wrong decision but he goes for it, well, you know, even though he's in the worst position to head the ball, the fact that he's gone for it and it's kind of forced my decision to then just cover, regardless of whether it's the right decision or not. You know, you can still recover. So, and the same thing here. Like some people here you've seen have sort of like made the early decision to let me pass or even lift, and I'm like, okay, you don't have to do that, but you know, by all means, they've done it and it's early enough that I can react to it and do whatever. So cool. But yeah, Ricardo's starting to slightly pull away from me here. We are a little bit similar. We are somewhat similar in pace, race pace with him. I mean, he's obviously quite a fast guy. You can see his iRating is 5,000 something. So being able to keep up with him is a you know, I'll take that. Definitely take that. I think it's Sylvain that's definitely slowing down. Could be tyres, maybe damage. But Ricciardo's definitely catching him. And I'm basically just keeping pace with Ricciardo at the moment. Oh, apologies for the sniffles, guys. I've got hay fever, and it's just been terrible the last couple of days. So. Yep, Sylvain is definitely holding up Ricciardo. Hopefully he can hold him up long enough to get me into the game. Get me back in the game, coach. Yeah, just had to lift, man. Even despite turning off my hybrid, coming into that corner, I still had to lift a little bit, but it's all right. Made the best of a bad situation, or not bad situation, not ideal situation. Sorry. Lost some time there, man. Thank you. Easy. Shame Sylvain couldn't hold out in the end. Okay, oh god. See, he made a last second change there. He's thinking, oh, maybe I should go on to the left, but it's like, nah. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I mean, obviously I got a nice little off track for my troubles there, but I don't know. It's like I said, it's so hard to make the right decision, especially when it's happening so fast. Remember, our cars catch up to other cars really quickly, especially when we use like the full 1,000 brake horsepower. Oh hell no! Using all that boost. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to look back at the video just to see whether he made the right decision or not. But I think especially because he had a car ahead of him, I hate it when like the two cars ahead of me basically make two different decisions. So one will be like, okay, I'll go to the left. The other will be like, I'll go to the right. And I'm like, fuck. Now I've got to do like a slalom in the not slalom. What's it? I've got like a bloody chicane now. A chicane right in front of me just before Blanchimont or whatever it's called. Cool, thank you. Again, I think he made the right decision there. Just hold that inside line, so I'll catch him too quickly. Tell you what, Sylvain's definitely dropping off. Okay, lost a little bit there, but I think I'm still gaining on him. Still gaining. Anything's possible in this game, boy. Anything's possible. Oh, Jesus. Who's this? Is this Julian? Hey, don't you slow me down, Julian. Oh, don't you make me lift. Don't you make me lift through here. Ah, you made me lift. Bastard. What the hell are you doing in the pits anyway? Oh, he's a lap down. Thank you. Much prefer that. He made it just early enough for me to make my decision. Damn, that understeer. I'm getting way too eager.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Oh man, at this point I can smell Sylvain, I can smell him. I'm like, this is getting, I can feel him.
Thank you.
Definitely got a chance to get past him before the end of the race. What is it, 7 minutes? Wow, this car does not want to turn. Thank you.
Sorry.
Cool, another off track. Sometimes you just gotta take it on the chin. You're like, fuck it. If it gains me a little bit of time, I'll take it. Now, if it gains me a disqualification, that's a different matter. He's getting held up, but so am I. Oh. Oh, I could see he wanted to come back again, but no, he stuck to it. Ooh, I'm almost within a second. Oh, another one.
Thank you.
Why so stupid? Why?
Ooh, a little bit of drama. Ricardo's not happy. He's slowed down a lot as well, actually. That guy must have held him up. Come on, I'm within a second now. Right when I needed it most.
Sorry, man. That was
Marcel, I'm sorry if I got empty there. I didn't get a hit or anything. I wasn't even really trying to tap it. You're faster than me on the straightaway.
Oh man, really gonna look up there? But he kept it together, so thought he was gonna spin out. Oh no. Yep. My head went. Can you believe it? 2 laps to go. And I'd lock up there. I literally just gave him a second as well. Man, I would have so caught up to him for like an amazing. It could have been such an amazing last lap, but fuck. Yeah, that basically nullified it. He's got enough space and time, because usually, like, to catch someone up, you're not going to be able to just catch them up and then pass them. Generally, it generally takes you another lap or two just to suss them out and then sort of like get them ready for a lap, for an overtake. Very rarely do you find somebody just ready to be overtaken the moment you catch him. Because usually it's sort of like, especially with these cars, you want them to use, the person ahead of you to use more hybrid than he's used to, because that way eventually he's going to run out of hybrid or get caught out in a place where he doesn't want to use hybrid but may have to. So, but yeah, generally that takes at least a lap to sort of like get them out of their comfort zone of using the hybrid where they don't want to use it, but they'll use it anyway. But yeah, nah, ain't got enough space. Ain't got enough time. Not enough bloody time, man. But it's been a fun race though, man. It's been very eventful. Very eventful, mostly clean. Most of the overtakes were quite clean as well with the GT cars and that. A few little hairy moments, but in overall, it's been pretty good. Like when I have races like this, man, iRacing is just like nothing beats iRacing in that sense. When everything clicks, man, it's just it's really good, really good. The immersion, the racing, the competition, like it's good, man. Like all the other sims that I've played, Assetto, Race Room, R Factor 2, Automobilista, they don't have this level of just jump in and race and sort of quality racing in that sense. I don't even know if it's quality racing, just the entire atmosphere of the race and the event just seems good, just seems like on point, you know, just seems really well done. You know, the point system, the incident system, you know, in terms of like the off tracks, the contact, the amount of points you get. Like there's championship points, you get iRating points, you get what else? Safety rating points. Like all these bits and pieces all merged together, and you sort of like have like a race like this where, you know, like I'm not going to win, but I don't expect to win or need to win the race. Like I'm racing my own race and I'm gaining something from it. So I after this race, I think I got maybe 50 or 60 I rating. I did. My safety rating went slightly down a little bit because I did get quite a lot of off tracks, but not enough that I'll be like panicking or anything. It was barely anything, 0.0 something. But yeah, man, it's been cool. Had some good battles where, like, you know, everybody survived. Nobody had to get crashed out or anything. Like, it was cool, man. It's cool. So, but yeah, boy, that's the end of the race there. You can see everybody finishing now. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with a little TV clip of the battle I had with Matty, and thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.